Did God really make women beautiful and want men to hide their eyes from them? Is that a loving God or a God that delights in cruel tricks? I've been to 4 different churches throughout America now where the preacher has stated a man commits adultery by merely looking at and desiring a woman, and basing it on Matthew 5:27 and 28, where the translators basically put their own words into the mouth of Christ. Now stick with me here. I'm going to show you why very clearly here in a minute. What is said there in the passage is, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall not commit adultery,' but I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart." Why do I say that they put their own words into the mouth of Christ? Why is that a difficult statement for you to accept? Wasn't the serpent there from the very beginning in the garden twisting God's words? Do you think Satan just gave up? Or is it possible that Satan, with thousands of years to manipulate people, has introduced lies into God's word during this time all along? Be honest. This misleading passage means that it is even a sin to look at your own wife with intentions of having sex with her. Be honest. Let's begin to unravel this counterfeit morality, okay? So let's start by how God defines adultery and avoid assigning our own meanings as so many in social media are doing right now. It's right there in the 10 Commandments. Exodus 20, verses 17. "You shall not covet your neighbor's house, your neighbor's wife, or his manservants, or his maidservants, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that is in your neighbor's house." God defines sin through God's 613 laws given through Moses. The only sin that can be construed as adultery is when it involves another man's wife. You shall not have intercourse with your neighbor's wife to be defiled with her. That's in Leviticus 18 in verse 20. That's from the New American Standard Bible. Here's another one. "If a man is found lying with a married woman, then both of them shall die. The man who lie with the woman, and the woman. Thus you shall purge the evil from Israel." And that's Deuteronomy 22, verse 22 from the New American Standard Version, 1995 Bible. Notice that it's not saying wife here. If a man who lies with a wife, and the wife, thus you shall put, because we already know it. We know it's talking about the married woman. It says so at the beginning of the passage there. The Message version of the Bible puts this part of the 10 Commandments this way: "No lusting after your neighbor's house or wife or servants or maids or donkey, etc. Don't set your heart on anything that's in your neighbor's possession." That's Exodus 20, verse 17. Notice how it says no lusting after your neighbor's house or his wife. Okay? Can someone lust over a house? So there's a big problem here, right? A big problem in the translation. I mean, we're told that the English word for lust is a sexually charged word. So how can this be a sexually charged word about a house? When Christ states this in Matthew 5:28, what is actually being meant, or what's the actual meaning of the word in the Greek? The word is epithemeo, and it simply means to desire. Okay? It's a neutral word. It has zero to do with sexual intent whatsoever. Let me give you an example. Christ said, "I have earnestly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer." That's in Luke 22, verses 15 out of the New American Standard. Okay? That word desired there, "I have earnestly desired," the translators just played fast and loose with it. And they said, okay, we're going to use the word desired here instead of lust. It's the exact same word in the Greek, epithemeo. Okay? So the problem with modern teachings is somehow we've decided it's okay to jump to the last section of a book without the context. Could you pass any class in school if you merely read the last 26% of the textbook? No. So why would you do this with the Bible? And that's how we approach everything today. It's all New Testament, New Testament, New Testament. And that's a misnomer. We shouldn't be dividing the Bible up like that to Old Testament and New Testament. It's one book, and everything depends on the context of how God laid down the law and how he defined what sin is. So, King David, lusting, or you want to say desiring, or epithumeo, at a beautiful naked Bathsheba bathing on the rooftop wasn't a sin. Okay, you heard me right. Okay, it wasn't a sin just to look at a naked woman, or lusting after her, beautiful Bathsheba bathing there on the rooftop. Conceiving in his heart to put asunder, to divide her from her husband and take her for his own, this is the kind of thing Christ was trying to get the religious authorities to understand. The adultery is taking another man's wife. He was pointing out to them, this is Christ, he was pointing out to them to take every thought captive, okay? Don't let it conceive in your heart. Paul wrote, casting down imaginations and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to obedience of Christ. That's in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5 from the King James Version. Okay, bringing in captivity every thought, okay? Paul is writing this to the people in Corinth where even married women, men's wives, were putting themselves out there seductively in public as prostitutes, members of Aphrodite's fertility cult. He's saying, don't even think about it. Take every thought captive. Don't even think about it. So we've all heard of William Tinsdale, the Tinsdale Bible. We have the Tinsdale Society today, I think it is. So William Tinsdale introduced the first English Bible in 1520, and he had Christ's words right. But I saith unto you that whosoever looks on a wife, lusting after her, has committed adultery with her already in his heart. Okay? Much of Christianity today has become this eerie Orwellian cult. Go back and read or 1984 or watch the movie. You'll see what I'm talking about. When churches shame and condemn men for looking at a woman, and they have just become another mouthpiece for Satan. It's the same message as transgenderism or the erasure of gender identities. It's just been repackaged by the evil one to appeal to a religious audience, manipulating the words of God. So let's look at some examples of erotic poetry in the Bible. By many of your standards, this can be classified as pornography. Yeah, that's right, pornography in the Bible. This is from the Songs of Solomon, written as like a stage play between two lovers that are not married. Listen to this. Your breasts are like two fawns, like twin fawns of a gazelle that browse among the lilies. That's from Songs of Solomon. Song of Solomon, chapter 4:5. Your breasts. He's looking upon her breasts. Okay? Here's another one. Awake, north wind, and come south wind. Okay? North, here. South, down here. Blow on my garden, that its fragrance may spread everywhere. Let my beloved come into his garden and taste the choice fruits. Okay? Again, Song of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 16. What does garden mean here? I think you know what garden means here. What do you think choice fruits is talking about? Come on. All right? Be honest here. Here's another one. An apple tree among the trees of the forest. So is my beloved among the young men. I delight to sit in his shade, and his fruit is sweet to my taste. Okay? That's Solomon chapter 2. Song of Solomon chapter 2. Picture this. He's standing like a tree, She's sitting under him. What is the fruit she is enjoying so much? Okay? Not hard to imagine, folks. You're calling it pornography. Anywhere else you'll read something like this, but it's right here in the Bible. And that's it. Okay? Some of you are going to want to continue to double down and refuse these teachings. That simply means that you don't want to hear the truth. Then you are the same as the Pharisees who added to God's word, thinking that somehow that made them more holy. But in fact, they hated Christ because he brought them the truth and they refused it. Look upon the women, men, enjoy them. Women, get out of your phones, look back up and enjoy the man looking at you. God told us to be fruitful and multiply, and it's not going to be happening if you've been shamed into thinking that your eyes gazing upon a woman is adultery sometimes. And shame on the rest of you that keep putting this out there, okay? If you're seeing this video and you're commenting in the section, well, this is a lie, this is from Satan, blah, blah, blah. I just showed you God's word. So go away. Don't be a troll. Go somewhere else. Live in your comfort of thinking somehow you're more holy. You're not. Please pass this along. Please share. Please like. I don't care if I get the likes. I don't care how many people subscribe. But it does help reach other people when you do this. So, thanks for watching. Until next time, unblindingfaith.com.